Hey guys, what's up? So welcome to the deck profile for the Ghostrick deck that I've been playing with all week. And now one thing I do want to say like right off the bat is that Ghostricks are actually not that bad of a deck for what they do. Like a lot of people just know Ghostricks as like the annoying deck that, you know, again, just a lot of people see it as annoying. They don't really see it as having much of a purpose besides that. But I kind of disagree just because, again, when I was testing this deck out, I saw what the deck could do. It acts as like, it's basically like a hand advantage machine. I know that sounds a little weird, but with Stein and Jiangxi, you're constantly adding the cards you need to your hand. With Mary and Doll, you're technically always getting field presence. And I forget where I heard this from, but there's like a quote-unquote dream setup with Ghostricks where basically you have Stein on the field, House on the field, and a way of putting them face down, i.e. roll shift or Doll or Panic, and then now with Knight, a way of keeping them face down. That's really good. I mean, you're going to be poking them with 1600 each turn, of course, barring any like traps that stop like Mirror Force or something like that. You're going to be hitting them with 1600 each turn. You're going to be searching out ways to keep them face down. So let's say they MST the Knight, which means they're just not going to be able to attack you that turn anyway, or they just get rid of something on your field. You're going to constantly be searching out new ways to set them face down, and you're just going to keep poking for 1600 or more if you would choose to attack with your Jiangxi, your Doll, whatever you have. And again, it is just an advantage machine. I know that sounds weird, but that's what the deck is. It just does it in a very weird way. Now that's probably a little bit more than I want to talk about this deck, but yeah, so we'll just get into the actual deck profile. So we have 2 Steins. I run 2 because I don't know, like 3, he's not good enough to be run at 3, I don't feel. But again, I'm not a Ghostrick player, so if you want to pick up Ghostricks, try it at 3. The reasoning behind that is because, again, you want cards that actually help get you your advantage. Stein is good, yes, but he's only good while House is on the field, or your opponent has a monster weak enough to run over with Stein. People usually don't have monsters that are weaker than Stein. So again, this is just, I don't want to say it's situational, but it's really good when House is on the field, and not so good when House isn't on the field is what I'm trying to say. So I don't think it's really worth running at 3, but that's just me. 3 Jiangxi, I don't really need to explain. He just adds stuff to your hand. Doll is a new card. Basically, I've talked about her a little bit before. Early in the game, where your opponent doesn't really have that many cards that are face up, or you don't really have that many monsters face up, or by cards, I meant monsters, by the way. So if there aren't many monsters to flip down, her effect isn't that good because you're going to be summoning your Lanterns, your Spectre, and your Marys, and you want them in your hand more than anything. So it's not the best thing if you like open up with her and like no other cards is what I'm trying to say. Next you have 3 Lanterns. Everyone knows what he does. He stops attacks. 2 Spectres. When a Ghostrick monster is destroyed, you special summon this guy face down. You draw a card. Pretty good. Mary is basically how you get your Jiangxis, your Dolls on the field, and all that good stuff. Now moving on to spells, we have 1 Allure Darkness. I mean, it's draw power, 3 Power Duality. This deck doesn't really special summon during its turn, so Power Duality just is there for consistency. It's better than something like Upstart in this deck because well, I'm not even going to touch Upstart right now because everyone knows what that does. 2 MSTs, MST just for back row, 1 Book of Moon, self-explanatory. House, everyone knows what House does. It allows you to attack directly. I mean, both players get this effect, but obviously Ghostrick monsters, or the Ghostrick player has the advantage because their monsters are going to be doing all the damage. Now, I know that there's a new card, Ghostrick Parade, that came out, but I can't really say that I agree with it. I tried it out, and I tried like a skeleton, I think it's called, like a just start banishing all your opponent's cards, like have like a mill out deck. That worked literally like once. I didn't really like the deck. I know that some people do enjoy Parade, like it's just how you add all your cards. So you just add cards until you're ready to just kill them. That's when you get House. That's when you play House instead of Parade once you have your setup. And I understand like that's actually a good strategy that I clearly didn't think of, but at the same time your opponent they're good to get attacks off is what I'm trying to say, and they're good at just pick you away, like pick at you, and they're just going to slowly beat you. And if you let them get too far ahead, I don't really care how much of an advantage you think you have with this deck, your opponent can just like turn it around somehow. So that's why I prefer House as opposed to Parade. I think Mansion was like when you attack, you flip them face down, which is good. So like if your opponent attacks you directly, they get flipped face down and they can't really do anything, especially if you have Knight on the field and you're able to flip summon something next turn. But that kind of takes away from Doll, which is why I didn't play Mansion. But yeah, everyone knows what House does. I shouldn't be talking about that for too long. And I'm actually going to bring the virus cards down here so I can talk about them last. But yes, we have one Bottomless, one Neo Ceiling, amazing in this deck because obviously all your monsters are face down. If your opponent wants to do anything, they need to have monsters face up. This answers that. 2 Mirror Forces, 1 Torrential, 3 Panics or Scares. I don't really know what the TCG name is, but just a solid card. It's how you flip things up to put your opponent's monsters face down. And like I said, the best situation a Ghostrick player can have, or at least from what I've seen, is have a Stein on the field, have House or something on the field, and then a way to put monsters face down, i.e. Ghostrick Panic. So it's really solid, and obviously everyone has gone against it, and everyone who hasn't played, everyone who's been on the receiving end of Ghostrick Panic has not exactly had good experiences with this card. 1 Compulse, 1 Roll Shift. I really do like this card. It's a lot more versatile than I made it look. Like, I was watching someone else play the other day on YouTube, and he had like a cute little thing where, like, I think I actually might have done something like this once in the week. I don't really remember though. But like, he would set Jiangxi in main phase 1, he had House in the field, then he would go into battle phase, flip Jiangxi face up, get the search off, flip his opponent's monsters face down, poke for 400 or whatever, then use Jiangxi to flip it back face down. I was like, oh, that's cute. I could appreciate that. So yeah, 1 Knight again is just, it's an interesting card. Like, it keeps your opponent's monsters face down as long as you have a monster or Ghostrick monster on the field, which are usually your XYZs, but we'll get to them in a sec. 1 Solemn, and then the virus cards. Sorry about that, but the virus cards are really good. It kind of gives this deck like an anti-meta aspect to it, or yeah. And obviously you just need to overlay one of these, Ghostrick XYZ monsters into Downer Magician, or use them as overlay material for Downer Magician, and then you just get to get one of these off. And actually, I'm going to save the discussion on these for a little bit later. For the extract, we have 3 Downer Magician, 2 Ghostrick Alley cards, 1 number 48 Shadow Lich, 1 Zen Mains, 1 Fortune Tune, 3 Delahan, 1 Utopia Roots, 2 Slacker Magician, Shiny Magician? Yeah, Slacker Magician, and 1 Lionheart. Obviously, none of these got made, I don't think. Delahan got made. I don't think either of these got made. Or, yeah, any of these got made, sorry. I didn't see Shadow Lich for a sec. Alley card was here and there, and obviously you guys saw Down Magician at the end. Down Magician in this deck is actually really good because, as you can see, what her effect is, she gains attack, which is nice, but every time she's in a battle, you have to discard, or you have to detach 1 material, and when these cards are sent to the graveyard, no matter how they're sent to the graveyard, you get their effect off to add a Ghostrick card back to your hand. So if she attacks, and you have one of these guys as material, you discard them, or you detach them, and then you just add something up from up here back to your hand, which kind of goes back to the whole idea of this deck being like a hand advantage machine. Like, this just kind of adds to that. And obviously, by herself, she is a deck debut target. Yeah, by herself, like just having her on the field, whether she has no material or whatever, she is automatically a deck debut target. By having the usual 3 or 2 material, she's an eradicator target, and having that at your disposal is really good. And like, let's say you have Downer Magician, you just overlaid Delahan, let's say. Your opponent draws, you activate Eradicator, you tribute Downer Magician, you still get Delahan's effect off, you still get Eradicator's effect off. So that's just really good, and that's really what this deck was based around. It didn't happen as much as I would have liked it to happen this week, or yeah, this week. Like, it happened a lot, not a lot, but it happened twice in 3 duels today, which is actually pretty good. And if that could happen, if that was like the regular ratio, like, oh, you get this every 2 out of 3 duels, I would be so happy. But obviously you don't. So yeah, that's really all I have to say. I'm probably gonna have to edit the crap out of this because a lot of stuttering and all that good stuff. But yeah, that was Ghostricks. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this week, and there's 1 week left. It's the light week. Some people might think they know what I'm going to play just because I've said, oh, I am this kind of player, or I don't know. Some people might know what I'm going to play, but we'll see what happens. I'm actually going to try and get most of them done today and tomorrow if I have the computer like available and it's not going to like crash and burn or whatever. But yeah, I am going to end this here. What are we at? I'm sorry for you guys to see this again, but oh yeah, 10 minutes, that's not bad. I thought I thought it was a lot worse, but yeah, I'm going to end it here before it gets, well, worse. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this week. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the series. It's almost done. Kind of bittersweet at this point. But yeah, I will talk to you guys next time. Later, guys.